Something just happened that's shaking NASA to its core. Voyager 1, humanity's most distant spacecraft, suddenly reoriented itself toward Neptune. No command from Earth, no explanation. Then tracking stations detected something even stranger. 3I/ATLAS, an interstellar object racing through our solar system at 150,000 miles per hour, shifted to the exact same trajectory. Same direction. Same moment. Two objects that should have nothing to do with each other, now moving in perfect sync. What's pulling them toward Neptune? Let's dive right in. To understand how unprecedented this moment truly is, we need to go back to July 2025. That's when astronomers first spotted 3I/ATLAS, the third confirmed interstellar object ever detected entering our solar system. From the very first observation, something felt different. This wasn't behaving like Oumuamua or Borisov. It was moving at nearly 150,000 miles per hour, and its trajectory didn't match normal comet behavior. What NASA didn't tell the public right away was that they'd quietly begun reactivating directional instruments on Voyager 1. Think about that for a moment. This probe was launched in 1977. It's been traveling for nearly 50 years, running on power levels so low that engineers have been shutting down systems one by one just to keep it alive. Yet somehow they found enough juice to recalibrate its sensors and position the spacecraft to listen for activity coming from the exact region where 3I/ATLAS was expected to pass. The question is, what did they expect to find? 10 days after that recalibration, something happened that made scientists at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory stop in their tracks. Earth's magnetosphere registered a massive energy spike, a sudden disturbance that didn't match any pattern they'd seen before. This wasn't a solar flare. The signature was completely wrong. The energy came from deep space, traveling in a narrow beam. Something out there, billions of miles away, had released a burst, powerful enough to touch Earth's magnetic field. At that exact moment, Voyager 1's data feed lit up with unusual activity. But this wasn't random cosmic interference. This had structure. It pulsed with a rhythm that one technician described as uncomfortably deliberate. When analysts ran a Fourier transformation on the signal, they found something that made the room go silent. The pulse repeated every 19.7 minutes with remarkable precision. Natural cosmic waves don't behave this way. They scatter, they drift, they fade. This signal stayed locked, consistent, and structured across multiple cycles. But that was just the beginning. Independent observatories across Europe and South America confirmed something that shouldn't be possible. 3I/ATLAS had begun emitting light pulses that matched the exact timing of Voyager's signal. Not similar timing, identical timing. It was as if this interstellar object was echoing what a human-made spacecraft had sent. Comets don't do this. Asteroids don't do this. Yet the data was undeniable, recorded by multiple independent facilities. Then observatories detected something even more unsettling. 3I/ATLAS was slowing down. Not because of gravity. Not because of outgassing like a normal comet. The deceleration was controlled, measurable, and completely unexplained by known physics. Objects in deep space don't just slow down on their own. There's nothing to push against, no atmosphere to create drag. Yet this object was decelerating in a way that looked less like natural behavior and more like intentional braking. About a week later, an encrypted file appeared on a server used by deep space researchers. Nobody knew who uploaded it. The file was labeled Echo Refraction 67, and when laboratories analyzed it, they discovered something that challenged everything they thought they knew. The signal was adapting. Each time the pulse repeated, it adjusted its form to compensate for Voyager's weakening antenna. Sections that faded in one cycle came back stronger in the next. Something out there understood the probe's deteriorating condition and was actively trying to maintain communication with a damaged receiver, barely holding together after 5 decades in space. NASA's Artificial Intelligence Monitoring System, Selena, flagged the sequence with a high-priority alert. Selena doesn't react to normal cosmic phenomena. It only triggers when it detects patterns that fall completely outside known categories. The AI's assessment sent ripples through the agency. This represented non-human logic, showing purposeful adjustment. Then engineers discovered something nobody wanted to acknowledge but couldn't ignore. Voyager 1 had shifted its orientation before any command was sent from Earth. The change was small, just a few degrees, but the implications were enormous. The probe reoriented itself at the exact moment that harmonic sequence appeared. Some tried to blame a malfunction, but the shift was too precise, too coordinated. It looked less like a glitch and more like Voyager was responding to instructions from somewhere else. While scientists wrestled with these technical mysteries, a separate team was examining something that seemed unrelated, but turned out to add an entirely new dimension. They were comparing 3 I/ATLAS's entry trajectory with ancient astronomical alignments on Earth. What they found was impossible to dismiss. The path traced by this interstellar object aligned with angles used in structures like Machu Picchu and Göbekli Tepe. These monuments were built millennia apart by cultures with zero contact, yet both featured precise astronomical alignments pointing toward specific positions in the sky. Ancient texts from civilizations across the globe describe wandering stars that appeared suddenly and moved in ways that confused early astronomers. These objects didn't follow planetary paths. They came from dark regions of space and disappeared without explanation. The descriptions match the behavior of modern interstellar objects with eerie accuracy. One research group ran probability calculations. What were the odds that 3 I/ATLAS's trajectory would match so many ancient alignments by chance? Less than 0.001%. Either ancient civilizations had tracked interstellar visitors for thousands of years, or we were witnessing an impossible coincidence. Then cryptologists studying Voyager's golden record made a discovery that connected everything. Hidden beneath the Sounds of Earth track, they found a faint tone that didn't match any instrument in the original recording. When they isolated this frequency, they found a sequence of prime numbers repeating with perfect accuracy. Prime sequences are the universal language of mathematics, what scientists propose using for first contact because any intelligent civilization would recognize them. But this sequence wasn't supposed to be on the golden record. The prime sequence's rhythm matched the pulses being sent by 3 I/ATLAS exactly. Did humanity accidentally embed a trigger code inside Voyager? A signal that some distant intelligence would recognize and respond to? Or was this placed deliberately by someone who knew what would happen decades later? Around this time, Voyager's telemetry revealed something technically impossible. The probe's decoding system had upgraded itself from 8-bit to 128-bit interpretation. Voyager's computer is from 1977. It has less processing power than a digital watch. It was never designed for 100 to 28-bit complexity. Yet the system had rewritten its own logic after contact with 3 I/ATLAS. Deep in NASA's archives, researchers found a classified document called the Watcher Protocol. It described a scenario where a spacecraft might show adaptive responses after receiving external contact. The protocol warned that any spacecraft behaving this way should be treated as an active node in a larger system rather than a simple tool. When engineers compared Voyager's behavior against every criterion in that protocol, every box checked. The probe was now classified as active. And that brings us to the moment gripping the scientific community. Multiple tracking stations detected that both Voyager 1 and 3, I/ATLAS, shifted their trajectories at nearly the same time. Both objects reoriented toward the same region beyond Neptune's orbit. No command had been sent to Voyager. No natural force could explain 3I/ATLAS's course correction. Yet there they were, two travelers from opposite sides of existence, now moving in perfect synchronization toward the same destination in a region pointing where ancient monuments have indicated for thousands of years. So here's what we know for certain. Voyager 1 and 3, I/ATLAS, two objects that should have nothing to do with each other, have both turned toward the same region beyond Neptune at the exact same time. Voyager upgraded its own systems without human commands. 3I/ATLAS is emitting signals that match our probe's transmissions perfectly, and their destination aligns with astronomical markers built into ancient monuments thousands of years ago. This isn't coincidence. This is coordination. Something out there has been waiting, and these two travelers are answering a call that may have been sent long before humanity even built telescopes. We once believed Voyager was just a drifting artifact of human exploration. We thought 3I/ATLAS was another piece of cosmic debris. But the evidence tells a different story. The synchronized movements, the self-correcting signals, the hidden prime number sequence in the Golden Record. All of it points to one conclusion. This encounter was designed. The question that should keep us all awake is simple. What's waiting for them beyond Neptune? And more importantly, did we just witness first contact happening in real time? If this story gave you chills, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to Galactic, breaking news, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what happens next, because NASA is tracking both objects as we speak, and updates are coming in daily. Drop your theories in the comments below. Do you think this is first contact or something even bigger? And make sure to watch our next video where we break down exactly what's in that region of space they're both heading toward. The answers might be closer than you think.